welcome. Finally, I am so sorry that the video was taking forever to upload and go live on YouTube. It was my fault. I had bought a webcam from Amazon and it was just not working the way I hoped it would. And I had school as well earlier, and I had to just make sure everything was timed right and that everything was in order and working perfectly. And some stuff weren't, some things were. So it is what it is. You can't complain or fix everything. So today is September 8th. It is the 25th anniversary of Blues Clues, and I will be going over the history very briefly from its conception to where it began as a hit show to its later years and then the reboot as of the past 2 years it's been out. I will also give my own history with the show as well, talking about like how I was very happy with the show and what it meant to me, what it meant to others, and how it really defined who I was as a child and kind of my adult life as well as many other people that I know very close and dear to my heart. So uh, today we have the behind the scenes, behind the clues of 10 Years of Blue video that I will be going over and discussing everything with you guys as well. So feel free to watch. Um, Everything here is copyright by Nickelodeon, Viacom, and the creators of the show. I don't own anything, none of the video, none of the images, nothing. Just doing this for fun. Hopefully, this will not be a long uh, video as my previous live streams have been. And I hope to do more live streams covering this show, the reboot, and other shows as well, with multiple people getting involved and discussing this kind of stuff with me instead of just by myself. So here we go. It is an amazing show. The show is just one of the best children entertainment shows in the past, I don't know how many years. Well, 25, I can say, but other shows before then, I don't think have ever really stuck to people for years later as much as Blue's Clues has. Um, I'm really impressed with what they did and what they are doing now. I do have some nitpicks about the reboot that I will get out of the way towards the end of this video, and how what I think they can do moving on. There's Donovan Patton, there's Steve Burns, aka Steve and Joe, and there you go. There's Blue, Joe, Clue, Steve, Notebook, The Thinking Chair, and 25 years now, which is crazy because this was 10 years ago. I mean, not 10 years ago. This was way back when, 2006, I believe. So now it's 2021, 25 years since this show began. It's amazing and crazy. And yes, Miranda Cosgrove has a reboot as well for iCarly. Uh, Great show, although for adults, so don't watch the new iCarly. Uh, yeah. So once the show had become a success in the beginning, they really went all out for merchandise. You had kids with costumes, makeup, face paint, um, clothing, bed sheets, food like Subway or McDonald's probably. You have the creators here who are just wonderful people. Um, we'll talk about the creators soon. There's some earlier storyboards for the show, which is the very first episode. And there's one of the creators, Angela. She is a really nice lady. It's crazy how it was in New York as opposed to the show being in Toronto, Canada, as of now with the reboot. Uh, yes, Blue was originally a cat named Mr. Blue. Uh, was originally Mr. Orange. Uh, in one of the behind the scenes for the musical for the original show, Blue was actually a bunny first, then a cat, and then a dog. So that's crazy. Um, Angela, the creator of the series, she said that she found the pilot of the original Blue's Clues episode and that they filmed it in 1994, which means that they've been working on the show since maybe the late 1980s, early 1990s. Who knows? So, yeah. Nicktoons, Nickelodeon, back then, that's how they look. There's Blue, wonderful puppy, and there's the host. They originally wanted a female host, and they met Steve, and that's how he looked back then with long hair and an earring. Yeah. They said that he looked like a street rat or something, and they wanted him to change his appearance, and he ended up looking like that. And that's scenes from the pilot. That's the original pilot's name, Blueprints. But the children who watched the pilot actually referred to the show as Blue's Clues, which made them change the name from Blueprints to Blue's Clues, and the rest is history. I actually have the notebook still with all the crayons, very sharp and everything. Very happy with that. I do have the paw prints, only 3 or 6, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Uh, yes, Traci did voice Blue, and she's still voicing Blue, which is great. Minus the spin-off Blues Room, which is a whole other thing, which I'll get into after the video as well. Before I talk about the reboot, there's the music guys, or the composers, and one of them did the voice of Mr. Salt, and the one holding the guitar actually voices Mailbox. And there's the rest of the pilot, and see more of the pilot. There's the kids interacting with every kid. I don't care who you are, old or young or whatever. You interacted with the TV when this show came on every morning, every single day after its premiere. So I am just very happy that this show, so simple, so energetically fun, and it just let kids be kids and have them think for themselves instead of having people tell them, what to think and how to think. It was just, you could be yourself with this show and with the characters, and I think that's what is so great about the show, is that it allows you to express yourself and be yourself, and enjoy television for being the quote unquote babysitter for your childhood, because it was such a great show, which is true. There is a picture of the Got Milk commercial with Blue and Steve. Yes, there was an actual Blue's Clues Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade float with Steve literally there with a giant inflatable balloon of Blue, and inflatable versions of the cast from the show. Celebrities were appearing in the show as their own characters, or uh, characters that were very new to the show. You have new hosts from Kevin to Hyunship, I believe that's how you say his name, if I'm mistaken. Um, yes, other people were referencing the show. You had the Blues Clues Live shows, which were from its original conception to just being a recreation of the show to live on stage, or Blues Birthday. Um, there was a lot of stuff. Yes, there were. I believe it was 76. That's the number he did. It's 76 episodes, if I'm not mistaken. The wiki has it. There is a Blues Clues wiki. Go check it out for yourself. It's really nice. Some inaccurate information and misspellings, but it's okay. Yes, there were a lot of rumors that Steve had passed away. It was crazy. Um, Very dark stuff, very tragic stuff, and fake. It was all fake. He is still alive, and I will show you a clip of him now, uh, being very alive and well. You know, and it's very weird that people would say he died. I don't know why. Just because somebody leaves a show doesn't mean the actor is dead themselves. It's weird. And yeah, very bad joke from Nickelodeon's voiceover. Steve was going bald, as you can clearly see. And he did not want to lose his hair on television in front of a bunch of children, which I don't know. I think kids wouldn't have mind as much. I mean, their parents, mostly fathers, uncles, grandfathers, they have hair to no hair. So yeah, and there we have Donovan Patton, aka Joe, uh, very wonderful guy. Uh, Very kind of sad though that some people were against him. I think he was a very fine um, replacement host. Just a very nice guy, I think. Uh, very wonderful people, Steve and Joe, or Steve and Donovan. Uh, I just remember this episode, and I think I cried. I'm not sure if I did or didn't. Um, it was a very emotional scene episode overall because Steve was leaving and nobody knew why. Just he was written to go to college. It was just an emotional time. And then there's the spin-off Blues Room, where this went away from the Blues Clues tradition of Blue being a normal dog. She now can talk English like the rest of us. Uh, More seasons with Joe. There was like two seasons after Steve left, season 5 and season 6, and we had a Glow Clue special to celebrate the 10-year anniversary, where Blue has a baby brother who is revealed to be Sprinkles, who I am so surprised is not in the reboot, that they chose to ignore Blue's Room, sort of. Although Angela did say that there are hints to Blues Room in the reboot, uh, primarily not sprinkles, polka dots. So that's interesting. But there is no Blues Room in the reboot, and Sprinkles does not live with Blue in the reboot, which is kind of sad. I was kind of like, okay, once you introduce a new character like Sprinkles, and they continued the show Blues Room with a new season with Sprinkles, you would think, oh, he's canon, he's in the show now, um, Blues brother, but nope. Uh, that is the end of the video. I will show you guys the other video I saw. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, here is this video. I will play that. Just give it a second. YouTube is weird. This is backstage of Blue's Clues. This was for the musical movie that they did. And let me just show you this one as well. Again, all rights reserved, everything copyrighted. from Nickelodeon to Viacom to the creators of the show. Um, I do not own anything. I'm not doing this for any promotions or anything. This is just for free and for fun for the 25th anniversary. Anyways, so this is again another behind the scenes of the show. Yes, there is a big plushie of Blue that they had. I do not think they sold it in stores. Um, Again, merchandise wise, Blue's Clues uh, had before I get to the creators and let them speak. Merchandise wise, they had the notebooks, they had the thinking chair, which was very limited. Um, the notebooks as well. Um, they had the costumes, meaning Steve's shirt and Joe's shirt, but those were very limited as well. Um, they had stickers, they had magnets for your fridge, they had coloring books, I believe. They had a lot of games on nickjr.com. I don't know if you guys remember this. They were called Flash games, which were basically like 2D cartoon versions of whatever you're making as a game, and they were fast paced sometimes. And they were like, not no offense to Flash Games and anybody who worked there or did work there, like making games there. They were kind of cheap, but not so insultingly cheap. It was just like, oh, okay, it's not like a 3D um, AAA game. You're not going to get that from Blue's Clues. I would like that. I would have loved that. I actually had planned on writing that for the reboot before they even announced it. Back in was it 2018, 2016, something like that. Um, I actually wrote an idea and sketched it out of how a 3D AAA Blues Clues game would have worked and looked like. But the idea was just it was kind of boring to me. I don't know why. It didn't click the way I wanted it to. So I was like, you know what? I'll just leave it alone and maybe I'll go back to it one day and give it to the creators and see if they want to give it to Nickelodeon and Nickelodeon wants to make a AAA game based on Blue's Clues. That would be great, but for now it's just nothing as of right now. From left to right, that is Todd Kessler, believe that's how you say his last name. There's Angela, and then there's Traci Paige Johnson, who is the voice and also co-creator, and they are also co-producers of the show Blue's Clues, as well as Blue's Room and the reboot Blue's Clues and You, which we'll get into later. That is the original staff. I believe Angela said that they came back. All of them came back for the reboot. Um, I'm not sure if everybody came back, but if like everybody did, that'd be insane and cool. Um, and I think they're hiring. They hired new um, people for the show as well. For directing, cameras, and stuff like that. I love how this kid has Steve's shirt. It's just cute. Just celebrating the show, enjoying it. Blue's Clues is a story-based game show for kids with an added twist. It's interactive. I always wondered how the voices got on the show. I was like, how did that work? Never knew it as a child. Like from like birth to maybe I was like 6, and then I was like, oh, it's just voiceover. See, there's Bunny, there's the cat, and then there's Blue. Um, Fun fact: I believe there's a Twitter account called Backstage at Blue's Clues, which is again named after the special, and they revealed that the Wiggles, another children's TV show, actually had the very first thinking chair, and the creators, I believe, saw an episode with it and asked them who made the thinking chair, and they could use it for Blue's Clues, and that's how we got the iconic red thinking chair. So thank the Wiggles for that. So they have professionals looking over the Blue's Clues scripts, each and every single one of them, to make sure that their information is correct. So the kids are watching the musical movie special that they aired way back when. It was right before Steve left. I think it was like a season or two before he left. I could be wrong. I think it was just one season before he left. And yeah, that's how they would show the kids how to play Blue's Clues without the show. Uh, Maybe that's how they kept the kids entertained while they worked on the next season. I'm not sure, but there's that. Kids are so wonderful because their imagination is just over the top and extreme, and they just have fun with whatever they think of or watch, and they just interact with each other. They have fun. They play with each other very nicely, and become friends. And it's thanks to shows like Blue's Clues that got kids, all different races, all different genders, different backgrounds, whatever have you, to become friends and enjoy a show like Blue's Clues. So yes, they did show every single episode. I believe before Steve left, every single day. Um, I think it's a smart idea. I think they should have kept it for the reboot, but they don't. I think they stopped as soon as they announced the reboot. So there's that. Steve would wear different clothing, such as his pajamas that we are seeing right now, all green stripes with fuzzy white bunny slippers. Joe would have his own version where it was all purple but with multicolored rainbow squares, which was a cool design I liked. They actually used that design for Joe's soccer clothes, and then for one of his shirt notebooks, which is really weird, but it was a cool idea. I actually had the blue Joe shirt notebook, and that was my favorite. I lost it as a kid, and I was really upset. Little kids always get upset over stupid things, but it mattered to me, as it was like a way for me to get closer to my favorite actors and my favorite show. And this is how they originally designed the characters. They were cutouts, made out of felt or cardboard or drawings or whatever have you they had that worked at the show. So look, there's Mr. Salt waving. That's how you see it in the show. Which is very true. Some characters do have googly eyes or little dots for eyes. Very funny at the time I was a kid. Weird. I believe that this might be the only Hollywood production where everybody is having fun. I don't know about the animators or everybody else working behind the scenes if they were having fun, but I believe everybody working on set, cameras, behind the cameras, music, whatever have you, everybody was having fun. I believe everybody was having fun with the show. From the moment Steve was the host to the minute the series ended with Blue's Room, I believe they all had fun. See, they're all just having fun, just being ridiculous and having fun. It's crazy how they have this big studio, and now I don't know if they still have the same studio. I think Nickelodeon may have given it to somebody else, but it's crazy how they have their own studio. And yes, they did work on blue screen. The reboot is working on green screen. Although there is a picture out there where Josh is on a stage, or not stage, set with a blue and green screen display in the middle. So I don't know how that works over there, but yeah. So again, another storyboard artist, Dave Palmer or Dave Palmer, sorry. Um, Very good artist. Loved his art as blue, drawing blue. I didn't learn how to draw blue until I believe, like properly, until like maybe 2016, like 2 years before the reboot was announced. I used to draw blue as a kid, but it was just not as good as it should have been, professionally drawn. So now that I've gone better in my art skills, I could draw blue and all the characters how they were on the show. And then there's Mailbox, the voice of Mailbox, and there's the voice of Mr. Salt. Uh, it's amazing how they are, I believe, I could be wrong, the only two music composers for the show, entire run, meaning from start to finish, from Blues Clues to Blues Room. Um, if I'm mistaken on Blues Room, that's my fault. But they did a really great job. Again, this is the music from the Blues Clues movie, Blues Big Musical. Everything is copyrighted. It's all Nickelodeon, Viacom. I don't own anything. I'm just doing this for fun. So it's the rest of the live stream, and that is the Temptations, I believe, and they guest starred in the movie as the musical notes that Steve interacts with, or Persuasion. Sorry, it's crazy how much a lot of musical influences were in the show. Um, Forgetting another one that was there. Ray Charles also um, appeared in the movie. And he was the voice of Gene Clef, which is a musical symbol and on music sheets, and very cool. So there's Tracy doing blue. See, as Steve says, there's Mailbox, which you may not know who those people are, but that's fine. You may not know, but yes, it's great. And they always do that. They always move their hands out like that whenever they say hi or goodbye as Mr. Salt and Mrs. Pepper. And yes, there were kids who voiced the kid characters such as Slippery Soap or Side Table Drawer, Periwinkle, Shovel Pail, Paprika, Cinnamon, whatever have you. If you were a kid on the show, or if there was a kid on the show, they were voiced by a kid. So makes sense.
The philosophy of the show is celebrating and really focusing in on those little everyday moments in a preschool
It's
experience.
amazing how well the animation holds up to this day. Um, I'm not sure how I would compare it to the reboot. I think I can't compare both shows to each other. I think they're just their own thing, like very separate, different animation styles. Which I actually ended up doing as a child. I did dress up as Blue for Halloween. I believe Blue was my first costume. So yeah, and I loved it. It was very cool.
Every day, I think
Which is
we
very
as
true.
adults
You know,
are constantly
um,
finding out what shovel and
the
pail
show
is
is
making
basically
us
you
feel
bringing
or
out your
what
inner
balloons can do for you.
childhood and you know being a kid again. You know, and that's what I love about the franchise is that no matter how old you get, no matter how old you are, where you are in life, watch one episode or few minutes of Blue's Clues and you're good as new. Guarantee it. Not sponsored and not 100% guaranteed. Not sure. But it is a great show and a great franchise. So there's that.
That preschoolers really can be anything that they want to be and they can do anything that they want to do. And all of that is meant in the context of hope and believing in themselves.
See? So that's the end of this video. We'll go ahead and look at the international host as well as pictures of the live shows, Blues Clues Live, and everything involving that. So yeah, just gotta pause that. Go to the next thing. Still with this. Let's see. Google. Second. Let's see if I can get. Nope. Okay. Let's see. Blues Clues. Uh, international host. Because we gotta talk about those guys as well and why they're cool. Let's see if I can. There we go. So we had a lot of different international hosts. I don't know why Josh is included because he's the same host as he is American host, but whatever. Kevin is played by Kevin Dula or Duala. I'm not sure how to pronounce the last name. I'm so sorry. I believe it's Duala. Could be wrong, but yeah, he was the host for the UK version of Blue's Clues, the original show. He played both Steve and Joe, not at the same time, so they didn't do like a twin thing, which I think they could have, but I don't think they had like the budget for it. Maybe, maybe not. But yeah, he um, is known for his dance moves. Appeared in some Joe episodes, and yeah, he was, I believe, the very first and only African American person ever to host Blues Clues, which is crazy. And yeah, I just think that it's insane how that is for him. Uh, then we have Durate, or as I would call him as a kid, Dante. I don't know why, just did. I don't know. He is the host for the Hispanic version of Blue's Clues, which is the European Portuguese. So the show was called As Pistas de Blue, or as it was on the show's title card, I believe, the book in the opening, Las Pistas de Blue, as the voiceover would tell you. So, yeah, or Pistas de Blue as the theme song is. Um, Not much is known about him. I don't think they ever did any Joe episodes with him. I think they only did uh, Steve episodes. I could be wrong. Um, he okay, so he did Steve and Joe. Okay, uh, he would change his shirts in, after season 4. I'm not sure. I don't. I never seen him with Joe's shirt, so I gotta look at that. He was played by what is his name? My God, Durate Gomez. I believe that's how I say his last name. Could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm not. I don't know. I'm trying to find the um, pictures of Durate um, as Joe, I mean, with his Joe shirts, but I don't know. I'm looking at the episodes list right now. Don't see anything with him being Joe. It doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Uh, yeah, because a lot of these are Steve episodes. Blue wants to play a game. What story does Blue want to play? What is Blue afraid of? Pretend time. The bros show Blue's news. Material comes over. What does Blue want to make? Tickety Talk's favorite nursery rhyme. Snow Day. The trying game. Blue wants to play song game. Durate gets the sniffles, which is the Steve gets the sniffles episode, but they changed the person's first name to match the international version. So if it was Durate in the Portuguese version, he would get his name in the beginning. If it was Kevin from the UK, it would be Kevin gets the sniffles. So there's that. What does Blue want to build? Blue senses. What experiment does Blue want to try? What does Blue want to make out of recycled things? What was Blue's dream about? Blue's ABCs, math. Blue's birthday. What does Blue want to do with her picture? What does Blue want to do on a rainy day? The lost episode. Blue's sad day. What game does Blue want to learn? What did Blue see? Nurture. Blue's frustrated. Art appreciation. Weight and balance. Blue surprise at 2 o'clock. What's that sound? What is Blue trying to do? Thankful mechanics, animal behavior, geography, science, hide and seek, occupations, anatomy, Blue's big treasure hunt, pool party, draw along with Blue, nature, interventions, inventions. Sorry. What's so funny? Blue's big costume party, Blue's big pajama party, Blue's big mystery, Blue's big holiday, Blue's play, prehistoric Blue, Periwinkle misses his friend, environments, words, stormy weather, Blue's collection, the long shirt, Cafe Blue, imagination, the anything box adventure, super friends, bugs, un dia con plume, which the first time I ever said it out loud, and I can't believe I said it. I hope I said it right. What's new Blue, Blue's new plays, Mr. Salt and Mrs. Pepper Day, the baby's here making changes, and what's inside. So, yeah, no, I don't think he was ever Joe. I don't think he was ever Joe. So that's probably wrong, which I mentioned. Sometimes the wiki gets things wrong, which is okay. Nobody's perfect. Again, this is Hun Hyun Shuk. Hyun Shuk. I believe that's how you say it. I'm not sure. I don't speak. I'm sorry. But he was the South Korean. host for Blue's Clues in South Korea, which was crazy because nobody knew that there was a South Korean version of Blue's Clues. I did know that there was a Blue's Clues UK version, um, thanks to, I believe it was before or around the same time the special we just watched, the 10 Years with Blue. Um, they revealed Kevin and Dorothy as well as Hyun. But I'm not sure if I knew about Kevin and Dorothy before or after the special, or around the special, I should say. I didn't only know about Hyun um, from the special, and everybody, every fan, um, boy, girl, whoever you were, age, over the past 25 years, let's say. No, that's wrong. Since 2006, I believe, was the special. So ever since then, we've all been looking for episodes with him as the host and see what was the difference between his show and the American version, or the UK, or the Portuguese version. And one thing different about his version of Blue's Clues compared to the American, the UK, or the Portuguese is that his picture frame in the theme song has a paw print, Blue's paw print in it, and that side table is animate, at, animated, sorry, and without the phone on top, which is really weird, but I guess makes sense because when side table is animated, she does not have the phone on her head sometimes, or her drawer sometimes. So there's that. And these are the list of uh, Hyun's version of Blue's Clues episodes. Um, I don't think he did any Joe episodes. I'm looking. No, he did not do any Joe episodes. Let's go to Behind the Clues, the 10 Years of Blue. Uh, I wish they had done a um, 25th anniversary version of this. It would have been really cool. Um, See, the wiki says that the special Meet Blue's Baby Brother aired after this special, the behind the scenes, but I'm not sure that's correct because I've looked it up, like both release dates, and there's a lot of contradictory because people have said that that this special released early in the year. I believe somebody said it was like April. Um, then this one says August. Uh, some people said it was like October or September. So it was like really hard to pinpoint the correct release date for this special and the behind the scenes one. And we'll get into the Meet Blues Baby Brother afterwards. But this was a really great behind the scenes uh, special. Uh, I believe it is longer than the one we just saw. If I'm not mistaken, 1 second. See, this is 15 and 55 seconds. So the other one was what? 11. Okay, so I was wrong. This was shorter than what I thought it would be, which is weird because you would think the behind the scenes later on would be a longer version, but I was wrong. Um, I'm not. I know we just watched it, but I don't think that they showed Durate in the behind the scenes. Um, Let me just pause it and I'll see if I can find where it was exactly. Just don't think they did. Um, you just skip around.
Pennsylvania is every move. We didn't have any of them. TV like in her deep like made its Nickelodeon more than a hit with Johnny. And how who let kids good work. Thought it was colorblind. New York City's way now. Yes, spawned a series of a TV movie music and a live
Yep.
national tour.
So we'll talk about the live tour
Performed in 16
soon.
languages and new states
So there's
spanning
Kevin.
the United Kingdom to Korea.
So no, they did not show Dorothy, which is weird. I don't know why they didn't. Um, Makes me wonder if they knew that there was a Portuguese version of Blue's Clues. So I guess I was wrong. Dorothy was. I found out about Dorothy after the special, but um, I'm not sure because I feel like I remember him before the special came out. Just going on in the internet and looking up Blue's Clues, and I believe somebody was talking about him or posted about him or something. Not really sure how. Um, it was years ago. Again, I was a child, so I wouldn't remember exactly. Um, okay, so before we go to Blue's Clues and you and talk about Josh and everything with his show, let's talk about Blue's Clues live, the live shows. Let's see if I can find it. Get Blue's Clues live. Okay. Um, Here are some images. I'm just gonna like click on one so you guys can see each version that they did. This one was premiering at the Grand Rapids Theater. This is what the costumes look like. So you have Mailbox right there. You have Blue. You get a better picture. There you go. There's Steve. There's Slippery, and then there's Shovel. And the thinking chair, and can't see clearly, but its side table is back there, just covered by the thinking chair on the wall, because nobody would play side table in the live shows. They just always had her as a prop on the stage, or the background, I should say. Um, let's see if I can find more images. Uh, Here is the one that we just saw from the behind the scenes. I'll just need to add play if I can. This thing will load. Okay, there we go. So yeah, it was crazy that Blue's Clues was a live theater thing. It was weird to me as a kid. It was just weird. Um, but I loved it. I really wish I had gone and seen it. But the year that it came out, not this 2000 version, I was 2 years old, so I couldn't even remember if I wanted to. But there was a 2001 version, I believe. Let me actually look it up real quick. I'm not sure if. Let me just pause this real quick. Ah, pause. Pause. Please just pause. Thank you. Okay. Um, there we go. Blues, live, and then we'll go 2001. So here's the updated version from 2001. And now, a Blues Clues live update brought to you by So, yeah. Junior fans are going wild for Blues Clues Live. It's the most there was multiple versions of the show. Slippery Soap and Tickety Tock. Shovel, I'm not sure what the plot was for the live shows. but I do know that they did mostly Blue's birthday party, which I'll show you guys after.
I don't think I've ever seen a crowd this happy. Let's hear what the fans have to say.
So if you did hear, I'm not gonna play it again. Just look it up for yourself. Um, but the music for the live show featured the song or the music for the 100 shows episode that Joe did for the 100th episode of Blue's Clues, which came out years after this. So it's crazy how the live show had a song that the show would end up using and make canon, although I don't think it was the same song. I could be wrong. Let's actually look at the Macy's Day Parade, and then I'll go back to Blue's birthday party. So there's Blue. That's how she looked as a balloon. I believe that's the creators taking a picture, if I'm not mistaken. I probably am. So yeah, Blue was huge of a balloon back then. Um, I don't know how big because the balloons back then were huge. Like it was ridiculously huge. Kind of scary if you just saw you happened to look out your window and saw a giant blue dog with a giant blue paw print moving by your window. Yeah, see, there's a lot of different parade floats and balloons. Um, Blue's Clues was around from 1999 to 2004, if I'm not mistaken. Could have been 2006. I could be wrong, but it went for a little while, not so long. And there it is. Yep. And there's the song that was actually in the show. There's Steve List. This is the real Steve, not like the Blue's Clues live shows. They had actors playing Steve. No, that is literally the same guy that we saw as kids on TV playing Steve. That's Steve right there on the float. So that was the cool thing about the show that I actually loved was like to be on a float and going down New York and have the giant blue puppy balloon flying overhead through New York. So yeah, I actually caught a glimpse of Blue on TV when I was a child. My mom had told me that Blue's Clues was randomly on TV, and I was like, "What? Why? It's weird. Like, it didn't make sense to me as a kid, as a little child." So I just ran to my mom's TV and I saw Blue as a balloon for like a quick second, and then she left, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, that's crazy! I would have loved to have gone." So, and see Blue live, but I never did. Um, so it was kind of disappointing. But you know, it is what it is. If I was born a decade earlier, I would have been all over this. I would have been like, let me, hold the balloon string and, walk down with everybody else with Blue, directing her around New York. You know, it's crazy. Look how, look, wow, it's just speechless every time I see it. So let's see where the other Blues Clues parade comes in. Um, I guess I can say this is all copyrighted by Macy's. I'm not sure who airs the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, but yeah, here it is again. There's Steve. I believe Periwinkle is a brand new addition. I'm not sure. I wasn't really paying attention to the characters on the float, just Steve. But I think Periwinkle is a brand new addition because I don't think he was there in the original. And then there's Blue again. And I always loved the paw print. It was just the the coolest thing ever. Awesomest. I'm not gonna say that. It was the coolest thing in the world. Just wanting to be a clue or looking for them and writing them down in the notebook and sitting in the thinking chair. It was just amazing. The world of Blue's Clues was just perfect as a child. To me and to a lot of other kids, it was just perfect. You couldn't go wrong with it. You wanted to live in that world and be a part of it, be friends with Steve or Joe, and just be friends with Blue. And I always wanted Blue as a puppy because I just thought who would be a better companion but Blue. So now here's an interactive uh, costume. There's Magenta, and then there's Tickety Talk. You'll see her. I'm not sure that's Steve, the same. Maybe it's a. Oh no, it's the Blue's Clues Live. Okay, so that's not Steve from the show. This is the Blue's Clues Live float for the parade. So this must have been like they may have struck a deal with Nickelodeon and the creators to be like, hey, we're doing the live show. Can we take over 1 year for the Thanksgiving parade? And I guess they agreed on it. Um, if it was up to me, I would say yeah. Why not? Because more exposure for the live show and get people interested and check out the live show and watch the show more from the TV series. So yeah. So thank you again, Macy's, for this footage. The copyright belongs to you. Um, I believe. Uh, oh yeah, this is the one with Joe. There's Donovan Patton as Joe, uh, just having fun being himself. Uh, and yeah, and also interesting is that they're playing the Joe theme song to again show that this is brand new. Um, yep, there's Blue. I believe Blue is lower than she was previously. I don't know if you guys can tell. Probably perception or something, but or perspective, whichever word it is. But she looked like she's lower than how she usually was. I could be wrong. Yeah, I'm probably definitely wrong. It looks like Blue's taller, but or the same height, maybe. Who knows? It's another Blues Clues day. So yeah, there is all of the Thanksgiving parade float for the original series. We will get to the reboot soon. I promise. I just want to go back to the Blue's Clues Live thing. Um, trying to find Blue's birthday. Is this the one with? Let's see. Yep, this is the one with Steve. Okay, so yeah, this is the Blue's Clues Live updated edition again. I believe this would be 3.0, maybe. But yeah, they are celebrating Blue's birthday from the first season, if I'm not mistaken, season one or season two, celebrating Blue's birthday. I think it was season two. Yeah, they did give out a handy dandy notebook based on the live show and the birthday notebook from the series. Uh, then there's Michael Jackson. Great guy. Oh, we'll talk about Blue's Clues and Hello Kitty soon. That was just interesting. I think this is the Joe one. Yeah, there's Joe. I don't want to use this music. I don't know who made that video, but not what I wanted. Let me see if If I can just type in Joe, maybe it'll change. There we go. Okay, so here's this one with Joe, and they call it the brand new show starring Joe. So if you can't hear it, they changed the music slightly to reflect again Joe being the new host. So there's Joe. There's Magenta, and yeah, I do not think they gave out the notebooks during Joe's run on Blue's Clues Live. I could be wrong, um, but yeah, there was that. Um, there was all these other Blue's Clues live shows. Um, Let me actually find uh, live the. It was called the most spectacular place. Um, I think that's it. Yeah. So let's do this one. Yeah, the blue costume was not the best, but it was okay as a kid. So there we go. There's
Hi, everybody.
the live
It's me,
show on
Steve.
Steve version of Steve.
Have you seen my puppy Blue anywhere? There
There's
she
Blue.
is. Here, Blue. We're going to go to a spectacular place. We're going to a theater. A theater is a magical place where anything can happen. And we want all of you to join us too.
Join Steve, Blue, and all their friends at Stage 62's production of Blue's Clues Live, the most spectacular place, February 11th through 13th and 18th through 20th. Go to www.stage62.org/bluesclues.
Don't even bother looking it up or calling the number. I've done just looking it up and I cannot find anything will redirect you to some brand new thing or whatever. Um, the number obviously will not work because it's been decades since that happened. Here's another one that has a slightly better blue costume. Not as good as the Blue Clues Live birthday stuff, but slightly
Hi out
okay.
there. It's me, Steve.
I said slightly. I didn't say it was spectacular. It's slightly.
The TV is set.
So there's another Steve. Here's Blue.
We're home.
Blue's Clues Live at the Grand Rapids Civic Center, which, if I'm not mistaken, was in New York.
Grand Rapids Civic Theater brings you Blues Clues Live, September 10th through the 19th.
I could be wrong.
For tickets, call 222-4000.
Yeah, this one was also called the most spectacular place. So the thing about this version of the live show was um, they all had different costumes for the characters. So Blue looked different from this version to the last version we saw. If you can't see it, uh, that's also the costume for Blue right there. Um, Again, this one's I don't want to play it because the music is uh, I don't know who made that music, but it's totally different. Uh, there's Blues Reboot. Oh, here is the Joe version of Blues Clues Live with the different costumes at the Sherman Theater.
Then we move in our tempo to spread the news. It's beat, it's heart, and it's blue too. Then we sat and we thought, what could it be?
So the thing about musical theater is that they always change the songs. So instead of like just a simple "we just figured out Blues Clues because we're really smart," they added the whole it's art or it's smart and it's blue too because it's theater. So you got to run that pad time, runtime, um, for whatever reason. I don't know. So that's the yes. They're gonna do another alteration to the song. The thing about the shows, the live shows on stage, there was a report somewhere, news article, something that claimed that the cast, well, not the cast, the crew of the original series had partnered up with the people doing the live shows and brought in the music guys, meaning Mr. Salt and and Mailbox to do the music for the live shows, which I highly doubt it. I could be wrong. They might have done it. I'm not sure they did. Um, Again, that information is kind of muddled because it's like old and it could be inaccurate. Um, so I'm not really sure, but yes, Joe will sing again the "We Just Variable Blues Quiz" thing and sing a alteration to the song.
Really, especially you. You're really smart. Oh, so Blue, all this time we were throwing a party and making a huge birthday cake and playing games and scootering under the ocean for treasure and doing magic tricks and going to birthday party land. And all you really wanted for your birthday was a hug? I can do that. I can give you a really great hug. Everybody hug!
Which I think is okay for clues. Blue wanting a hug for her birthday. I think that's perfectly fine. Um, the original series had Blue wanting a turtle. The reboot did the same thing. Um, Joe's birthday, he got a duck pinata thing that they played pin the beak on the duck. Um, Mailbox's birthday was playing musical chairs. So yeah. Oh, and there is going to be a new Blue's Clues birthday episode for the reboot coming out September 17th this year. So I believe that will be the episode that's to celebrate the 25th anniversary of the series. So when that is out, I will probably post a video reviewing it. No clips, no audios, no nothing. Just me talking about the show, the episode, what I thought about it, if it was worth it or not. And yeah, but again, interesting is that the theater will always span the runtime of the original show. So Blue would go skidooing under the ocean to go treasure hunting, which would never happen in the show because you can't do that. You could, but you have to explain it. Maybe, not sure. Um, Birthday Party Land never occurred in the series. You had the present store and the storybook um, skidoo location. I can't remember what it's called. Where Steve helped this girl, I believe it was Sleeping Beauty. She changed these monsters to cake creatures that were friendly. So, and then they ended up having a birthday party in that dream skidoo place. So there's that. Um, so yeah, there is a few birthday episodes in Blue's Clues, but not as long as the theater. So they really had to stretch it out for the theater because you can't do a 20-30 minute theater show every time. Theaters are usually run 2 hour shows at the most, with a 15-minute intermission, which is a 15-minute break for everybody to go use the bathroom, to get refreshments or something, depending on the theater and the rules on that, with the refreshments. So yeah, That's not it. Oh, and again, Nickelodeon, YouTube, Viacom. This is all copyrighted. Nickelodeon owns it. Viacom owns it. The creators own everything. I'm just doing this for fun. I'm not making a dime out of this. So, yeah.
It's the best gift you can give someone you love.
And I don't know if they used this song with Joe. I know it was Steve because Steve used it like once, which is weird because I wish they had done it with the mailbox episode, but that's they didn't create it for mailbox; they created it for Blue specifically. So yeah, but I know the reboot didn't use it, and the reboot had Joe, not Steve. So I don't know if that's like a direct callback to this specific Blues Clues thing, like because the Blues Clues Live had changed the birthday from Steve to Joe. If the Blues Clues reboot episode was like a callback to that, or they just couldn't get Steve to come back and do the Blues Clues reboot episode for Blue's birthday.
Everybody play this new special day and happy birthday. Is everyone ready to blow out the candles on this cake?
So yeah, you can see the costuming right there. There's blue, magenta, shovel, slippery mailbox, the birthday cake, the skidoo frame, periwinkle. I believe shovel as well.
Let's try again.
Hail,
This time
Mr.
ready,
Salt.
everyone's help.
I believe Mrs. Pepper's on the other side.
2, 3.
Yeah, there she is. And then there's Tickety. Oh, and then there's the gingerbread boy or girl. I'm not sure. Can't tell because it's so far away. But yeah. So that was the other Blues Clues live on stage. Yes, we'll get to the reboot in a second. Um, I do not think. Oh, there's a. Okay, so there's a premiere for the musical. I did not know. Uh, if you want to watch it, go ahead and look it up online. I'm not gonna play it because I don't know if it's uh, gonna work or not. So yeah. Here are the Blues Clues video games. There's the one that was based on Blues Big Musical, as well as Blues Birthday. Um, Let me look it up real quick to show you guys. Blues Clues video games. Let me see if I can find it. Games. There we go. Let's see. Yeah, so there's a lot of them. There was Blues 1, 2, 3, ABC, um, DVD, CD-ROMs, which were like big versions of a CD or DVD that you could play games on. That were kind of 3D, but not really, as well as today's 3D. There was Blues Big Musical, which we just saw right there, the cartoon Steve, CG model Steve. Um, there's Blues Birthday, which again I was talking about, which is they either have this version of Steve or the live action version of Steve. Um, this version, but with like a hologram kind of way look. Um, yeah, like this picture. Um, There's this version, which I did not know existed. Um, there's not that one. I don't think that's a real one. There's so many other versions. Here's the birthday. Blue's Clues 1, the game. That's what it looked like. If you can see it, let me get closer if I can. That's what it looked like. You cannot play these games now because the technology is outdated. You can buy them, however, I believe on Amazon. Amazon was holding one of the games um, for sale. People left reviews and they said that they were trying to play it on their computers now, and you can't. You can only use the computers that were available back when these games were released. If you want to know what kind of computers you could get to play these games now, I don't know if people would sell them still, but uh, just look it up. Just like old school computers or old school Blues Clues games or something like that. There's a kindergarten game, um, which is basically Blue going to kindergarten uh, to help kindergartners, go to school. And it's with Joe, not Steve. There's Joe's 3D scavenger hunt, which was, I believe, the very first and last Blues Clues 3D game, um, because all the other games were 2D or um, didn't feature multiple graphics or angles, so it was just like a flat background, and you would have the characters move across the screen like cardboard figures or something. They really were like 3D, 360 capabilities. This was the only one that I knew of, and I actually played it a little bit when I was a kid. Wasn't a big fan of it. Um, I think it was because the 3D modeling and the controls weren't up to par, um, at least to my standards as a young gamer, as a child. It was just really hard and difficult to play with the game. There was a preschool version, which again featured Joe, not Steve. Um, there's a Joe again for Noggin, which is a great channel for hosting Blues Clues, as well as Nick Jr. Again, there's Blues Root, or Blues Clues, as some people label it as incorrectly. And it would be Meet Blues Baby Brother, and it would feature Blue and Sprinkles, as you can see him right there, the white puppy. Blue's baby brother, as being found in the special. Um, Basically, the premise of that was Blue was hosting a party in her room, Blue's room, with the original cast from the show. Everybody animated in their 2D style, except for Joe and Blue's room characters. They were in their puppet form. And Blue and Joe would skidoo from Blue's room to Puppyville, which was a land where, or world really, whichever one, where there were puppies pretty much dominating the whole world. There was no cats, there were no fish, there were no any other pets but dogs. So, that was cool as a kid because I loved dogs and I still do. But anyways, so while Blue and Joe were there, they would ask the puppies in Puppyville if any of them were Blue's baby brother, and none of the pups uh, gave a clear answer. Some would say no, some would say I don't think so, or some would say I could be, I don't know, but I could be. So it wasn't until um, not Steve, Joe and Blue would play a game of Golden Clues, which was a special edition version of Blue's Clues with golden pop prints, which I will show right now as I'm talking. Um, and basically, uh, it was just Blue's Clues again, but like a whole lot better in my opinion. Um, because it was just, going back to the formula as back then, Blue's Clues was uh, ending its seasons early. We only had like 2 seasons left. We had season 5 and then season 6, which was the last season of the original show. Um, so to make up for not getting a perfect season finale for Blue's Clues, um, we ended up getting this Blues Clues Blues Room crossover event um, where Blue, Joe, and this new dog named Sprinkles would play Blues Clues, Golden Clues, or Gold Clues, however label it. And what they would do is they would look for these three golden poppers with the golden notebook and um, write a train that looked like Steve's notebook. If you can see it in that picture right here, but it's not the best. Right here will give you a better look, but it's still cut out. Can't really see it. But anyways, so what would happen is after they found all three golden clues, they would sit in a golden thinking chair that was on a mountain that was surrounded by smaller versions of the notebooks throughout the series from both Steve and Joe. Um, and basically, they had to figure out who was Blue's baby brother, and the answer was Sprinkles, as we found out throughout the show. See, there it is. There's the golden thinking chair with the notebooks as flowers, which was interesting design choice. I wish they again did the 25th anniversary episode or behind the scenes, and they showcased the golden thinking chair, and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna do gold clues for the Blues Clues reboot movie," which I will talk about very soon. Um, so yeah, there's the golden thinking chair. Looked really cool as a kid, and I loved it. I was like, oh, with the golden thinking chair, well, we better have the golden thinking chair and golden notebook in Blue's Clues, not knowing that Blue's Clues had ended at that point. It was just like, oh, okay, we'll have Blue's Room, but Blue's Clues will it's just taking its time for the new season. Nope. Anyways, so that was Blue's Clues. Blue's Room, Gold Clues crossover, Meet Blue's Baby Brother. That also had a game for it. It was 2D, as you can see, the very first picture. Um, it was sort of like the special, but instead of figure out if Sprinkles is Blue's brother, this was like a alternate universe. I want to say timeline where Blue already is aware of Sprinkles as her brother, but they play Gold Clues anyways, and you go through the new locations as the special, and you figure out stuff related to Sprinkles instead of Blue and her family. I had an idea for the reboot had we gone, you know, to the 30th anniversary, 20 years after the 10-year anniversary, where uh, they would play Gold Clues again, but instead of just Sprinkles being the answer, you would find a little bit more about Blue. Uh, Blue's mother was actually going to be making an appearance. That was in my original ideas for the show, for my version of the reboot. Um, Blue's mother was named Goldie, um, hence why Gold Clues was very important. It wasn't like a they just randomly chose gold for the special. It was actually because of Blue's mother sending out golden clues to her daughter Blue, and it was like, oh, Blue got the idea of Blue's clues from her mother, Goldie. So it was kind of like a wholesome, complete story for the show. But I didn't get to be in the role, which of the host for the reboot, which sucked, but it's okay. Uh, so there's Steve, as you can clearly see him now. He's very healthy and alive. Um, so those rumors back then was wrong. Uh, Man, the video that he posted today, where he talks to the viewers, you guys, and me as well, and everybody, uh, it just hit a different level. It was like he got it, you know. It was like, yeah, it's Steve, but like it was weird, like not in a bad way. It was weird in the like, huh, he gets it, like that's cool. He addresses things that um, the nobody expected um, to be addressed by the character, um, which is like why he left the show. Is because he was again bald. He is fully bald now, and he left to go to college, as according to the show's lore. Um, but it was just really nice to see Steve talk to the viewers again, and it just felt like home. Let's see if I can find videos. I want to. Let me see. Let's see. Where's this video? If it's something bad, I will just go back and just forget it. Oh no. Okay, so it's again copyright Nickelodeon, Viacom, the creators.
Oh wow! Look at this. It's a gold paw print.
So yeah,
A gold paw print. So that means to find your baby brother, we'll have to play an extra special game of Blue's Clues. We need to play Gold Clues.
now again, they don't explain why it's gold. Nobody did, not even the creators did. I guess it was just again the 10-year anniversary for the show. But like I said, I would have somehow like extended the special to like maybe an hour long special instead of like I think it was like 30 minutes maybe. I could be wrong. Um, no commercials during it as well. Where Blue's mom was the one setting up the gold clues for Blue and Joe, and Steve would have returned in my version. Um, so it would have been interesting to see all three of them, Blue, Steve, and Joe, play gold clues, um, and kind of be like a good series finale to the franchise in my head. That's my idea.
So to play Gold Clues,
So yeah,
Paw prints. Gold paw print.
those are the
One,
puppy
two,
film
three.
puppies.
and those are
If you saw
our
them,
clues.
say them again.
Gold clues.
Yep.
And then we put them in our
And there's the golden notebook.
custom
Uh,
clues, Gold Clues.
They actually released merch for the Gold Clues notebook or Golden Notebook. There was like only two, I believe, uh, or maybe three. I'm not sure. I think it was two. There is a version that is a replica of that notebook, but slightly altered. It was released as an exclusive toy for the 10-year anniversary. And then there is a normal version, which is just a recolored version of the Joe notebook from handydannynotebooks.com, who um, have a whole website dedicated to uh, releasing notebooks from the show. Even to this day, they still release notebooks from the entire series and the reboot as well. Um, so they had their version of the Golden Notebook, which was just the regular Joe notebook that they had, but they just colored it um, to look golden. And they gave you a golden crayon, which was just a regular crayon, but with a gold Joe notebook wrap being paper around the crayon. That was a weird sentence to say. The paper pages were yellow, as they always are. Um, and they gave you three golden paw prints of this special. They were small, not as small as the theme song just did, but they were like regular size paw prints, um, but golden. So yeah, and I don't think they had glitter on them. They were just stickers, if I'm not mistaken.
You know what to do. Sit down in our thinking chair. Hey, where's the thinking chair?
Wow, a golden thinking chair.
That's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
Yup. And yeah, I really wish Steve was there because I don't think the kids would have like complained about Steve not having hair. Like people have hair, people don't have hair. So I think Steve, showing up one last time, especially this episode, special movie event, whatever have you. Um, I think people have been okay with it, and people were like, "Oh yeah, Steve didn't have hair when he came back from college for this crossover event movie thing." Um, it was weird at first, but I got over it as I would normally with everything in my life that bothered me, but was as a big of a deal as you know other big deal life changing situations. So I think Steve should have came back. That's just my opinion, but he did it, and I respect that. That's his decision, and I can't change his mind. I can't change the past as much as I wish I could, but it is what it is.
Sit in our golden thinking chair and think, think.
When we use our minds to step at a time,
We can do anything
that we wanna do.
Also, Blue is not voiced by Traci P. Johnson, the co-creator of the show, or the franchise, whichever one. No, she actually was voiced. Ah, Jesus Christ, I cannot remember who voices Blue in Blues Room. Sorry, um, but yeah, I don't have a problem with the voice actress. Um, I did not have a problem with Blues Room. Did prefer Blues Clues over it because, again, simple show, fighting paw prints, sit down in a thinking chair, uh, enjoy spending time with the host, and that was it. Uh, so let's see if I can find the voice actress. Let's see. Characters. Yeah, let's go to characters. So let me. Okay, there we go. Nope. Okay. Blue was voiced by Leslie Rudolph in season one, and then by Noel. Sorry, sitting down. By Noel McNeil. I believe that's how you say it. Noel McNeil. Um, oh no, she was puppeteered. Sorry, she was puppeteered by Leslie Rudolph in season one. Then Noel McNeil in season two, both voiced by Victoria Ponteconvo. Ponteconvo. Interesting listening. Still cannot believe I said it. Hope I said it right. If I didn't, that sucks. But yeah, Blue speaking in Blues Room and singing the Blues Clues theme song in that crossover special, I always wondered, did Blue know like the Blues Clues theme song, and was she speaking it when she was barking? Because in the original show and the reboot, because it's interesting that she knew all the words. And yeah, I get it; it's her show. She would, of course, it's her thing. But I don't know if Blue wrote the if Blue wrote the lyrics or it was Steve or Joe. I mean Steve. I believe it was Steve, just for simplicity sake. Um, so yeah. Here's some images of Blue's Room. You have the main characters. You have Fred right here, if you can see where I'm pointing, with the mouse. There's Fred. That's Rory, if you can see the dinosaur. Uh, there, Rory again. There's polka dots. There's polka dots with Rory. There's Sprinkles. Sprinkles. Joe. Fred. Polka dots. Rory and Doodleboard. There's Wrestle Chess. Uh, there's Boogie Woogie. There's the. Oh no, that's Pokemon. Sorry, I was looking for where is. I hope it's there. No, we're not good. Oh, there's Silly Seat. There's the Blues Room box chest thing that opened up and let you go to Blues Room. It had a keyhole, which would be unlocked by a character named Key, who would let Blue go to her room, Blue's room, whatever, and the show would begin. Oh, speaking of which, there's Blue's room key or key. There's Blue's room from the outside, which so many questions I have to ask the creator because I so many questions about it, so many questions. Uh, Let me see if I can find. Yeah, there's Blue's room, Blue's room. I don't think I can find it. Okay, so what I'm looking for is Blue's handy dandy journal, which was interesting addition to the series because Blue had it for one episode, I believe, and never used the handy dandy journal ever again, which is kind of sad, but it is what it is. Uh, let's see, there's handy dandy journal. There it is, handy dandy journal. Now this one was also released with merch. Uh, there was the standard edition, and then there was a version where that one right here. This was released as well as a handy room notebook. Just looked like this, and on it had this on one side, and on the other side, it had a glow in the dark look. Um, Cannot find it right now, but there's also this version where Mona was another character from Blues Room was on the back. This character right here, if you can see what I'm pointing to right here, she was a main character for Blues Room, and she always appeared to let Blue know that she had to leave for to go back to the Blues Clues house so that the show could continue when Blues Clues was still going on at the time. Here's an alternate notebook. Here's uh, Joe's handy dandy maraca notebook, which is just Blue playing the maracas. It shook when you shook it. The notebook it sounded like maracas. Uh, there's the shirt notebook again. I believe this is the blue one, or maybe it's purple. Can't tell. Sorry. Uh, Not really focusing on it. I'm trying to find the other ones as well, but there's that with the paw print and the crayon. Um, This one had like a little, I believe it was like an eyepiece or something, like a monocle, something could be completely wrong. There's the Joe notebook, present gift notebook. There's the Love Day notebook or the Valentine's Day notebook, I would call it. Uh, so there's that. There's polka dots. Let's keep going. There's the other shirt notebook. There's Stephen Joe's notebook with the weird paw print. There's the other notebook for Joe shirts. And there's all the Joe notebooks that were based on the shirts. So you had green, you had red, you had orange, you had yellow, you had blue, you had purple, and you had the multicolored rainbow shirt that I like to call it, rainbow shirt. That was based on his pajamas and soccer outfit. Uh, yeah, cannot find the alternate version. Uh, Maybe if I type it in real quick, if I can find it. Glow in the dark. Yeah, so here, if you can't see it, sorry, but this version has Muna on the cover. It was glow in the dark. Here's another one right there, right here. Another one right here. Uh, there was one where it looked like this, but it had a alternate thinking chair on the back of it. I don't know where it is, but yeah, and I wouldn't know how to search for it. There's the nighttime notebook. There were a lot of notebooks being sold again throughout the series franchise. Let's see if I can find the notebooks. The notebooks were even called different things in the international versions. I'm not sure what the Korean, South Korean version would call it, but probably notebook or not. I don't know. And again, I'm getting very close to Blues Room. I mean, not Blues Room. Blues Clues and You. I will talk about that right after this. So let's just wait for this to show up. A second. Will it show up? Probably not. I don't know. I don't think it will. Alright, so I don't think it will, but I'll just talk about them anyways. So you had Steve's notebook, which was the very first notebook ever. Kevin and Dorothy and Hyun, all three of them, the international actors, used Steve's notebook as well. The notebook was used on the live stage for Blues Clues Live, as well as Blues Birthday Party, Blues Clues Live. There's the birthday notebook, which was just a regular notebook but with a yellow ribbon on it in the form of a present. There's the treasure hunt notebook, which was just a regular notebook, but instead of a thinking chair on the cover, it was replaced by a treasure chest. You had the nighttime notebook, which I just showed. The holiday notebook, which was a again the regular notebook with a white background and uh, snowflakes surrounding the notebook, not notebook, thinking chair, and I believe the thinking chair had a present on it. So yeah, there was the nature notebook, which was again a regular notebook but made out of wood. And instead of the thinking chair, it had the thinking rock, which was a alternate thinking chair for substitute episodes of Blue's Clues. The thinking chair was used. I mean, thinking rock was used one time in the original show, and then it was brought back with a new redesign in the reboot. Blue's Clues and You. There was the order pad, which Steve used in Cafe Blue. which was an episode where Blue ran a restaurant with Steve as her waiter and chef, sort of. There's Joe's Notebook. Kevin used Joe's Notebook in the Blue's Clues UK episodes. Uh, he had a bedtime notebook, which looked like a regular notebook, but was as soft as a pillow and actually had the materials made from a pillow as the front and back covers. I'm not sure if the paper was made out of the same fabric. Just don't think it was possible. I think it was just a front and back cover. We had the car notebook, which looked like the regular notebook, but without the thinking chair design. It was in the form of a car, uh, but shaped like the thinking chair. So there's that. Notebook friend, which was just a regular notebook from Joe, but had googly eyes and curly green hair and a smile as well, and googly eyes, if I didn't say that already. There's a version of that notebook, but for Steve, same design as well. There's the Love Notebook, or as I like to call it, the Love Day slash Valentine's Day notebook, which is just a notebook in the form of a giant red heart with some design on it. And it was one of my favorite notebooks. I didn't like how it was pointy at the end, used like weird design, but again, it was a heart, so beggars can't be choosers. Then there's the Gold Notebook, which we just talked about and saw. Then there's Josh's Notebook for Blue's Clues and You, which we will talk about actually right now. Why not? Uh, Hold on one second. Actually, let me just talk about the international names for the notebooks, and then we'll just get right into Blue's Clues and You, and then I'll talk about the other international versions of Blue's Clues as well. So we had the Handy Dandy Notebook in the American version. You had the Super Duper Notebook in the UK. You had the Blanco de Notas Amigale, Am, Amigavo, Amigavo, uh, Until, uh, super long name, but user friendly notebook or notepad, I should say, in the Portugal version of Blue's Clues, or just simply notebook in a version. Because you would have to say handy dandy, you would just say notebook. That's about it. Uh, so there's that. Blue's Clues and You is the reboot to the original franchise series. Um, it stars Joshua De La Cruz, who plays a fictional version of himself named Josh. Uh, I wasn't a big fan of it originally because I was like, oh, just doing a reboot for reboot's sake, not really, that cool or anything different. Was like, oh, okay. Um, so yeah, and the animation was kind of mixed for me because I was like, it's CG, but it was like I wasn't sure about it. So we'll talk about Josh first. Uh, will they show pictures of him? I don't know why they're not showing. No, okay, weird. Why is he into here? Let's go to Josh. Okay, so there he is, Joshua De La Cruz, aka Josh. That's his normal look. Let's see his pajama look. If it will let me click it. Let me reload or refresh, as you say. Uh, no, it will not let me click on the other things. But so there's his pajama look, movie look, and 2D look. I don't know what the movie look is, but I'm not sure it's connected to the Blue's Clues and You movie or not. Uh, okay, I don't know what this is about, but that's weird. So, Josh is the cousin of Steve and Joe. He is, I believe, their younger cousin, if I'm not mistaken. Never was mentioned before, and I wasn't sure how I felt about it. Him being their cousin, because I believed he could have been like Steve's son or Joe's son, um, or something like that. He didn't really need to be their cousin because uh, we didn't really know about Steve or Joe's family that well. We only knew that Steve had a grandmother who was essentially Joe's grandmother as well, but that was about it for the family. There was like no mom and dad. There was no other sibling. It was just Steve and Joe. That was it. Um, so yeah, but the fact that Josh is their cousin is like uh, kind of opens a can of worms, but not so bad or too much. Uh, Josh has a grandmother of his own, which is interesting. Um, not just like, oh, he has a grandmother. That makes it so interesting. It's weird, but it's like, how is she related to Steve and Joe then? It was I don't know. It was just weird to me, at least. But yeah, Steve. I mean, yeah, Steve and Joe uh, are called by Josh the very first episode, excuse me, of the reboot, and they basically help him uh, figure out how to play Blue's Clues for the very first time, and it was a really nice moment. I wish they were there physically instead of like a video call thing, but again, beggars can't be choosers. Um, yeah, so we're not going to see any images of Josh. This thing is not working. That sucks. But yeah, let's just look up his picture. So unlike the other host, Josh wears a blue striped shirt, just like Steve's, but instead of the button-down collar uh, shirt that Steve would wear, his is just a T-shirt design, kind of like Joe's shirt from the back half of Blue's Clues and Blue's Room as well. Uh, His notebook matches his shirt with the blue stripe design, as well as his crayon. Uh, what else about Josh can I say? He's an okay singer. Uh, Not bad. Okay. Why is Blue's Clues and You the movie here? The movie is. Oh, okay. So there is a movie for Blue's Clues and You, the movie. Uh, I don't know if that's the official title or maybe it's just Blue's Clues. I don't know. Oh yeah, see, there it is. But they did wrap production yesterday, I believe. You can go check out Angela, the creator of the show, on her Instagram. She posted a picture of it. Her Instagram is Angela Clues or Angela's Clues. Uh, you can just find her on Instagram. And again, it's Angela's Clues. I believe it's all lowercase and it's ANGELASCLUES, all one word. And she's a really nice person and very talented person, uh, as we all know because of the show. So it's interesting. We'll talk about these characters in a bit, but interesting that they decided to make a movie. Uh, I was not a big fan of the idea of them doing a movie so soon because again this show is on its second season and I do believe the original show had the movie during its third season. if I'm not mistaken, the Blues Big Musical movie was during its third season because Periwinkle was introduced in season three, if I'm not mistaken. So it only made sense then. But here, I think this is taking place in season three because season three is not out yet. So there's that. Uh, so the idea of the movie is Josh and Blue will leave their home to go to New York to audition for a Broadway musical. And I did not like the idea because you took the characters of Blue's Clues and introduced them to the real world. And I knew they were going to do this because it just did not seem unavoidable for the characters or the creators of the show. The creators of the show, I should say. I don't know if it was their idea. I don't know if it was Nickelodeon and they mandated that. They're like, hey, you're doing a reboot. You got to do a movie. It's got to be live action, and you gotta go to New York because every movie that's live action and features a beloved kids cartoon come to real life has to be in New York for some reason. The Smurfs did it. I believe Alvin and the Chipmunks did it. If I'm not mistaken, or they were Los Angeles. I'm not sure, but it was just bad. It was just bad. So I hope to God that their New York in this movie is animated and not live action because maybe that'll be better. Um, because I can say like, oh, okay, it's an animated version of New York. It's not real New York because well, real New York is a bit of a gray spot. Let's just call it that. Uh, Josh and Blue do not belong in New York in the real world. Uh, if it was a cartoon version of it, sure, I'll let it slide uh, because they'll just make it a Blue's Clues version of New York, um, which I'm pretty sure they're going to do in this if it was live action. But again, it's New York, so how far do you go into it, or are you just gonna like not even acknowledge it's New York? I don't know. But anyways, here are the characters for the movie and the franchise overall. So we have Blue returning, same voice actors from the original franchise. Uh, you have Steve coming back again, Joe back again. You have Josh, Tickety Talk, Slippery So, Shovel, Pale, Mr. Salt, Mrs. Pepper, Paprika, Cinnamon, the new babies, Sage and Ginger, who are twins of Mr. Salt and Mrs. Pepper in the reboot. You have Magenta and Periwinkle, who is returning from the original franchise and will debut in season three. So again, this might be during season three, before season three, after season three. I'm not sure. Um, but yeah. Uh, so this is the first movie where Cinnamon Joe, Josh, Sage, and Ginger have made a Blue's Clues movie. Uh, Cinnamon wasn't born until 2001, a year after Blue's Big Musical movie. Again, like I said, I, yeah, I remembered that mostly, as well as the other characters. Sage and Ginger weren't born until 2019, which was 2 years ago, and Josh wasn't introduced until 2019 as well. Uh, yeah, see, Josh and Joe were not introduced on screen until 2002 and 2019, respectively. This will be the second live action Nickelodeon movie uh, based on Nick Jr. Series. Sorry, I'm going to say show, but I don't know why I'm bringing it there. The first one was Baby Dora in the Lost City of Gold, which I did not see, but it is based off of Dora the Explorer. I was not really a fan of it. I haven't seen it, but I just watching the trailers. I was just like, it's trying too hard to be Dora the Explorer and a grown up ish Dora the Explorer, if that makes sense. Like, just watch the trailers and you'll know what I'm talking about for Dora and the Lost City of Gold. So, yeah. The movie was filmed in late summer 2021, or was filmed in summer 2021, and the last uh, day of filming was September 3rd? Huh. Or is that? Let me get up. Sorry. Yes, September 3rd, 2021, which is weird because usually they said that the movie will be in January 2022. So maybe, October, November, December, they'll finish the post production and reshoots. If they are to reshoot it, they may not. They may have already done it during the production. Um, but yeah, it's kind of sad that this is. Oh, okay, never mind. I thought this was not going to be in films or theaters. So this will be the very first, I want to say, Blue's Clues movie to be in theaters. I could be wrong. I think uh, the Blues Big musical was uh, a movie in theaters. I'm not sure. Let's look at Steve's episodes. I can find it. No. There we go. Blues Big musical. Okay. Yeah, no, it was a TV movie. It was released on VHS and DVD. Um, so no, yeah, this is the first for ever. The franchise Blue's Clues will have its very first theatrical movie. Um, I wish the pandemic never happened because I would have loved to see what the box office for a Blue's Clues film in theaters would it be like. And not only that, but the budget as well. Is it the same as the TV show's budget, or is it a little bit bigger for a theatrical film? I don't know. So hopefully that would be uh, successful. Uh, so my problems with Blue's Clues and you. Let's just get those out of the way and talk about positive stuff soon. Okay. Okay. That's positive. Okay. So Blue's Clues and you is an interesting thing. I was not impressed with the title of the show because I was just like, oh come on guys, you could have done a little bit better, but whatever. Um, the animation was really throwing me off the first year it came out. I did not watch it. I only saw a couple of clips on YouTube. Um, and the animation it took a time for adjusting. Um, Still taking time for adjustment, but it's okay. So far there is 17 episodes of season one. Season two, we're not sure. Let me see. 20 episodes for season two. Okay, and then season three will consist of 20 episodes, um, and a fourth season will consist of 26. So it's going to be 17, 20, 20, and 26. Uh, so, with that being said, that will be a total of 83 episodes. Um, Meaning that they have got still a few left to reach 100, 17 episodes. So maybe the fifth season will consist of 17 episodes. Um, if they plan on doing what the original series did, and where is it? The original series had 100 and uh, 143, give or take, episodes. Um, so yeah. Season 1 had 20, season 2 had 20, season 3 had 32, season 4 had 22, season 5 had 36, and season 6 had 13. Season 6, 13th episode is actually Blues Clues and um, Blues Room crossover. So I'm not sure if that counts as its own episode or a Blues Clues, um, the Blues Room episode, but people count it as both because people say it's a crossover, so that makes sense. Uh, and the uh, behind the scenes also counts as that episode as well, so that's interesting. Uh, yeah, there are new voice actors for the characters instead of the original voice actors because everybody grew up. Uh, and I'm not sure the guys who keep the music. Let me see. Does it say? Yeah, the original composers. There is a new composer, so okay, I was right about that. I wasn't really sure, but I was right. Um, the original composers, the guys who voiced Mailbox and Mr. Salt originally, are not voicing them again, which was kind of a disappointment. I was like, oh, I'm pretty sure they can still do the voice. Did you even try? Can we hear them voice Mailbox and Mr. Salt now? No? Okay. So you got Mailbox being voiced by Doug Mur- Doug Murray, who does kind of sound like the original um, voice actor for Mailbox. Doesn't seem too off. Uh, Although I don't like the fact that they're introducing an email to Blue's Clues. I'm like, well, yeah, I get you're modernizing it, but do kids really need to know about emails? They're kids. They're little kids. Doesn't make sense, but whatever. Um, Side Through Shore has new voice actress. She got one in season one and a new one in season two. I hope they keep the same voice actress for season three and four. If not, um, maybe the movie will introduce the new voice actress. I don't know. Mr. Salt and Mrs. Pepper, new voice actors. Uh, Paprika, new voice actress, of course. Um, I don't know who voiced Paprika before, but I wonder if she could voice Paprika, but like slightly older, as she is older in this series. Um, so that would be interesting. But yeah, Paprika had original voice actress in season one and a new one in season two. So like Side Table, I hope they keep her for three and four. If not, maybe the movie will introduce a new voice actress. Same thing with Cinnamon. Cinnamon had a voice actor for season one and a new one for season two. So again, season three and four in the movie. Hope they keep the same voice actor. If not, brand new one. And hope that's the rest of the series. Sage and Ginger do not need voice actors because they are babies. Um, that's about it. Brand new characters as well. Shovel and Pail, brand new voice actors. Tickety Talk, new voice actors. Slipper Soap, again, new voice actor. Magenta, new voice actress, I believe. Could be wrong. Could be right. Don't know. Periwinkle has a new voice. actor or actress. I'm not really sure because it kind of sounds feminine, but I could be wrong. Steve is back. Joe is back as from Donovan Patton. There is Joe's grandmother, Lola, who's from the Philippines. Uh, no offense, but I kind of felt like her name being Lola was kind of lazy as it's grandmother in Filipino. And I'm like, well, couldn't you call her something else, but like Lola something or something Lola? I don't know how the Filipino naming rituals go, but because some rituals, different cultures have like your last name being first said, and then your first name as your second name said. Um, like Rook Blanco from Ben 10. His name is actually Blanco Rook, if you say it in American. But that's different show, different thing altogether. Anyways, so interesting enough is that the reboot would have been released earlier had the creators, Angela and Traci, had gotten the rights back from Nickelodeon years earlier. Because, as you can clearly see, as of early 2017, the original show's creators were spent many years trying to bring Blue's Clues back to Nickelodeon, and were finally given permission to develop the show for 20 episodes, season episodes. Sorry, um, that'd be crazy if they got 20 seasons. Jesus. Um, in April 17th of 2018, Nickelodeon posted a video discussing the audition process for the series. Over 1,000 people participated in the auditions, which is true. You can go find it on YouTube if they did take it down. Um, I auditioned as well. A actor uh, from a big TV show. Uh, Using my words loosely here, I'm not sure how big it is right now, but big show. Anyways, he was auditioning as well, a black male like myself. Another actor, white male, voice actor who was a fan of Blue's Clues as a kid, uh, is kind of around my age, I believe. He also auditioned for Blue's Clues. He talked about it, and I messaged him about it, but he never responded, so it's awkward. I don't know. But that's just rambling factor right there. The day before my birthday, which was crazy, and I was like, this sucks. I really wanted this to work. Uh, but whatever. Nickelodeon announced that Joshua De La Cruz, or Josh De La Cruz, or Josh, um, who was an understudy for Disney's Aladdin on Broadway for 5 years, would be the series' new host. He grew up in New Jersey, like I did, because I was born in, not born in New Jersey, I was born in California, but I moved to New Jersey around 2.5 years old. Um, and watched the show with his younger sister, and I have watched the show with my younger brother. And me and my cousins all watched Blue's Clues when we were children, and all of my cousins now, and like my brother's friends, baby sister, and a lot of young kids like to watch Blue's Clues because it's a great show. It makes kids watch it. They love the colors. They love the characters. They just love it all. And is the first Asian American to host Blue's Clues. I'm not really sure about that because I would think Hyun Suk from the South Korean uh, version of Blue's Clues, I think Korean would be Asian if I'm not sure. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, but maybe they don't classify it as Asian American. I don't know, but yeah, he would be also considered as the Asian American to host Blue's Clues, but I guess they meant for the United States version of the show. So yeah, Steve came back as well with Donovan, aka Joe, to participate in the casting process to find the new host for the reboot. Uh, Fun fact, uh, before I wrap this up, John Cena, yes, John Cena, uh, wanted or was joking about wanting to host Blue's Clues as a reboot before we even got like a title or anything. He came on stage at Nickelodeon's studios presentation thing where they announced Blue's Clues as being a reboot, and he wore Steve's outfit and with a giant like cardboard cutout of the Notebook and said "It's me." And he's like, "Hey, I'm ready to host Blue's Clues reboot of Castlevania. It's the new Steve." And Steve actually jokingly called out John Cena and said, "Dude, no, I will take back the role of being host of Blue's Clues, and I'll let you have it. You know what? Let's get into a mud uh, swimming pool or something and do like a mud fight. You know, just friendly, and see who wins in order to be the new host." It never happened, but there's a timeline, alternate universe, where that happened, and I would have been hilariously happy that Steve got his job back, and this was a Blue's Clues now. But again, Beggars can't be choosers. So yeah, the fact that the handy dandy notebook now has a smartphone built into it and can call people, take pictures, or receive emails is kind of pushing the boundaries of the show a tiny bit. Um, if you ask like on a scale of 1 to 10, how bad that is, I'd say a five, a low five. If you asked me like 2 years ago, I would have said it's like a nine, straight nine. Like it was just so bad it was wrong. But now it's like a low five. I don't really care about it. Yeah, so now this show is being filmed um, in 9 stories media groups Toronto studio. So that's in Canada. So if you want to go see the show or just meet Josh or Steve or Joe or anybody from the new show or series, whatever you want to call it, go to Canada and find 9 story media group studios uh, located in Toronto, which is in Canada. Again, uh, we got a first look trailer May 27th, 2019. August 2nd was an extended version of the theme song, and the premiere was announced on August 26th for November 1st. Originally, it was supposed to be November 20th, but they moved it way up. So, yeah, November 19th, the date for the original premiere for the show. 18 days later, they announced that the show will get a second season of 20 episodes, which I just talked about. Then 2020, a year, well, not a year later, let me say a few months later, 2020, February 19th, of course. So, literally 3 months later, uh, they announced season two for 20 episodes, and then a year later, by one day off, uh, they announced a fourth season. Sorry. So yeah, here's all the episodes. There's some brand new episodes that are original, and there's mostly remakes of the original series. The merchandise is okay-ish. It wasn't like as much as the original, so it's merchandise. I don't think they're doing any deals with like Subway or Ford again or um, Macy, JC Penney or Sears or Lego. A lot of people wish there was a Lego set of Blue's Clues. I would have done that if I was the host. I would have like talked to the creators and been like, "Hey, let's do a Lego set. Let's do Funko Pops. Let's do action figures. Let's do minifigures. Let's do collectibles. Let's do all these crazy stuff. And have fun with it." Uh, but yeah, I did not get the job, so whatever. But I don't know. Maybe they still can. Who knows? Maybe they'll do it for the movie. Do not know. But the toys, in my opinion, were not. They did come. They did not stick out to me. They were like just average toys. They were like really wow grabbing. Like the original toys. If you look at them, the stickers, the magnets, all that stuff. You had board games. You had interactive Hay notebook. You had a notebook that was like easy to erase. You write with a uh, etch a sketch pen or whatever. You had like the handy notebook that had buttons that you pressed, or you could pick up a phone and call your favorite characters or whatever you had back then with the original show. Um, the reboot doesn't really have that kind of wow factor that the original did have. But I did buy one merch from the reboot recently, and that is the uh, Blue's Clues and You handy dandy notebook that they just released, or about to release, I should say. It's coming out in September 20th. It is this. It is called the two-in-one handy dandy notebook. I actually like this for the merch for the show because I thought, okay, that's great. Which is basically you have one side of the notebook basically being filled with blank pages, white pages. And you can have a crayon and write like you're playing Blue's Clues uh, with Josh and Blue. Or you could flip the other side and it had a marker, which is easy to erase with a eraser on the top of the marker. Uh, the marker cap, I should say, and you can draw on the back, and you can erase it with the eraser from the marker. And I will actually be doing a comparison video, uh, possibly when the notebook comes in, where I will compare the Steve notebook, Joe's notebook, and this notebook um, all together, and which one is my favorite. Uh, if you had asked me like 2 years ago, I would say Steve's because it was just simple. It was the best notebook ever. Uh, if you ask me what was the best design wise, I would say Joe's because I like the idea that it was like the thinking chair and the pages were shaped like the thinking chair. And the golden notebook and all the variants like the Love Day, the car, uh, the shirts, all that stuff. I thought was really cool. Um, yeah, Josh's notebook really didn't grab me as well as it should have for merch wise. But I did like this. I saw this on Amazon. I bought it. I was like, okay, I'm gonna do a review video, I guess, with the notebooks. So why not? I have the original notebook for Steve and Joe. Not the one that was originally released, just the ones from the Handy Notebook uh, website store, and I have all the crayons that I bought from Amazon. They had a collection of all Steve's crayons and all of Joe's crayons from the series. They were 15 bucks a pop, so yeah, it was like kind of expensive, but it wasn't really that bad. It was for a good reason. Uh, and I think that's about it. Yeah. Again, I do not hate the reboot. Uh, now, it took me a while to accept it and let it go. Um, I do wish uh, I actually had an idea like, oh, instead of just having, you know, um, Josh be the main host, why don't you do a co-host? Have two people host the reboot. I don't know if they ever will. They probably won't. They'll probably just do what they do now because they're like, oh, we already got a good actor uh, being the host. Why would we need another one? Well, because comedy, you gotta balance it out. So he can't just balance it out by himself. He needs somebody else to balance with him. And you can't always get Steve or Joe to be there for you. So why not have somebody else there that can be there when you need it to be? So I'm just gonna play uh, this video. Let me just check this out real quick. 'Cause I haven't seen this, so let me just see this.
We did it again.
Sorry, ads. Oh, what?
On September 8th, 1996.
There it is. It's me, Steve. Did you see Blue, my puppy? Again, copyright, Nickelodeon, Viacom. They'll sue me, YouTube.
Featuring a puppy named Blue, who would leave behind clues for her owner, Steve.
Or
as
Joe.
well as little viewers everywhere. Steve, did you know how big of an impact it would have and how long it would be around for? I mean, we're celebrating the 25th anniversary.
And that's episode one.
It's too weird to look. There's a clue. You're trying to get a viewer to actually play along and solve the problem with me, and then it not only really worked, that was certainly a surprise to me.
Say just this homo guy. Really
Steve
nice
Burns earned his stripes, serving as the first host of Blue's Clues for 6 years.
You'll meet our handy dandy.
Before passing the famed handy dandy notebook to Joe, played by Donovan Patton.
Hello. My daughter, when she was young, wanted to watch Blue's Clues. And I want to watch that show. But with Steve.
Which is true. He did say that his daughter only watched Steve's episodes. She didn't watch Joe's episodes. It was kind of funny. And there's a reboot.
A reboot introducing a new generation to Blue.
Again, the
And
new
shows
music.
your host,
Well,
Josh
it took a while.
Cruz, the first
It took a
Asian
while to
American
go.
to fill the role. It's one of Blue's girls. Josh, how does that feel to be the one to reach that milestone?
Growing up, I never saw any characters on screen that I identified with. And I hope that
See?
I'm able to help inspire kids that even if they don't see themselves reflected, that doesn't mean that they can't achieve whatever it is they want.
Which again, that's why I kind of got over my problems with the reboot and Josh. He's right because the show, the original show, Blue's Clues, and a lot of other shows that came after it or before it, they were all predominantly white male roles or female roles. You didn't have a lot of black shows or shows that had black uh, actors in it, or Asian actors, or Hispanics, or whatever race you were that wasn't white. Um, and there's nothing wrong with that, white people or white actors or whatever. But the fact that Blue's Clues and You took my advice and probably were running with it to have a actor of color play the main role. That was my biggest concern was, oh my God, are we going to do what the original did and, have another white guy play the role or a white woman, or are we going to get a person of color, male or female, whoever, to, host the show? And again, there's nothing wrong. It wasn't like identity politics. It wasn't like race problem, whatever. It was just, to me, I feel like if we're going to do the reboot right, you should have a person of color because it's a colorful cartoon world. Why would you not have the host be a colorful person? A person of color, whatever. It just made too much sense to me at the time. So
Now joining forces to star in an upcoming original Blue's Clues film, along with a music video full of some familiar faces. You can't spell blue without you. All in celebration of Blue's 25th birthday. That's 175 in dog years,
Wow.
by the way. Talking about Blue. known for its catchy tunes.
We got no vacation. We just got an email.
I mean, how often do you find yourself, at the grocery stores, walking around town, and these songs are just stuck in your head?
Oh, there was about 5 years of my life where I wanted to forget some of those melodies. We just got a letter. We just got a letter. You know, I'd be like, I am doing a thing now, and I'm singing this song. Stop.
Speaking of music, Steve, I know you're also a singer-songwriter. One of your songs actually became the theme song for Young Sheldon. We can't help but ask here at the stage show, is there any way you could create a new theme song for us? I think the third hour of Stay needs it.
2 days, the day to watch the show. It's the day of your day.
I love it. Genius.
First try. Wow.
I don't know.
Look at Blue
Stuck in
then.
your head.
Look at Blue now.
It's funny. I had Calvin help me do the research for the show, and now he is just beyond obsessed. Like it's all we watch in the house. And also, in honor of the anniversary, Nickelodeon is partnering with the global nonprofit organization Save the Children. And this morning, fans are feeling extra nostalgic because Steve put out this sweet video telling all the show's loyal viewers he never forgot them. So you want to just Google that and try to find that video because it's really cool. And you can catch Blues Clues and You weekdays at 11 a.m. on Nickelodeon.
I sent it to Courtney.
Oh,
And
really?
she said, oh, I watched it last night.
Oh, so they talk to the adults as if he were talking to them as kids. So
What a special to be a special place, or you hold a special place in everybody's heart. You know what I mean? That's really cool.
For so long.
Thank you, today's show. So, yeah, let's go ahead and watch the Steve video. No. Nope. Okay. Let's probably Hollywood Reporter will have it. Let's see. Maybe this is it. There we go.
Hi. You got a second? Hi.
Okay, I don't know why it's repeating, but yeah.
You got a second? Okay. You remember how when we were younger we used to run around and hang out with Blue and find
Whoa,
clues
hold
and
up.
talk to Mr. Salt and freak out?
I'm so sorry. What? What was that? Okay, that was just random. I don't remember that ever happening. So sorry, guys. There we go. Maybe this is it.
Hi. You got a second?
Not go for straight.
You remember how when we were younger we used to run around and hang out with Blue and find clues and talk to Mr. Salt and freak out about the mail and do all the fun stuff. And then one day I was like, oh, hey, guess what? Big news. I'm leaving. This is my brother Joe. He's your new best friend. And then I got on a bus and I left. And we didn't see each other for like a really long time. Can we just talk about that? Great. Because I realized that was kind of abrupt. I just kind of got up and went to college. And that was really challenging, by the way, but great because I got to use my mind and take a step at a time. And now I literally am doing many of the things that I wanted to do. And then look at you and look at all you have done and all you have accomplished in all that time. And it's just so amazing, right? I mean, we started out with clues and now it's what? Student loans and jobs and families. And some of it has been kind of hard, you know? I know you know. And I wanted to tell you that I really couldn't have done all of that without your help. And in fact, all the help that you helped me with when we were younger is still helping me today, right now. And that's super cool. I guess I just wanted to say that after all these years, I never forgot you, ever. And I'm super glad we're still friends. Thanks for listening. You look great, by the way. Whatever it is you're doing, it's working.
Such a good video, man. I was crying. I was like, oh my god, Steve, come back. Oh man. Oh, we miss my man. So then we'll play the song, and then that'll be the end of it. Before it, hold up. New shirt, like it, love it. And again, copyrighted. This is all Nickelodeon, Viacom, YouTube. Don't sue me. Whatever.
Oh, hey, it's you. Hey, oh, hey, Joe, come here. Look who it is. Oh, hey.
Sorry, just want to full screen.
Hey, it feels like just yesterday. Lou first asked us to play. Striped shirt, notebook, but that wasn't all it took. Through the seasons, through the years, there's a reason we are here. For every clue in every song, someone's been there all along. Through rain and sunny days, yeah, who was always on the case, yeah. Ooh, you can't spell blue without you. You were always there, and you, every time we shared a clue, every single clue said you. We learned to use our minds, and we took a step at a time, and we made our mark, but we knew you can't spell blue without you. Na 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 na. Remember when we went to space and Blue Stock was so amazing? Holidays, present time, superheroes flying by. Yeah, sitting down in our thinking chair and mailbox always meets us there. And Tickety, Flippery, Magenta too. And we'll remember her first glasses? I sure do. We had birthday parties, pajama parties, kids were born. Oh, do get me started. And Pac-Man were so cute. I had a duck. Yeah, I had hair. Oh, and oh, yeah, the song. You were always there, and you, every time we shared a clue, every single one said you. We learned to use our minds, and we took a step at a time, and we made our mark, but we knew that we owe it all to you. Na 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 na. You can ask your parents to subscribe to Nick.
Now that was like what I was like. Okay, this is that's what you do. You have to address the fans and you know give them like the spotlight. Because without the fans, Blue's Clues would not exist. If it wasn't for those preschoolers back in 1995, we wouldn't have this great show. You know, so I think uh, I think Nickelodeon for Blue's Clues. I think uh, the creators of the show and the producers for the show. I think Steve, Joe, Josh. I think all the characters um, throughout the show, the cartoons, whether it was like from the show or fan made. I it's so overwhelming how 25 years since the show began have passed, and I'm only 22, about to be 23 next week, and it's just amazing. It just blows my mind. I'm like, wow, Blue's Clues is like still going and older, and it's just people don't forget. People always like, oh, what was your favorite show as a kid? Talk about Blue's Clues, and they're like, oh my god, I loved it. It was like my favorite character is Steve, my favorite character is Joe. Blue's like the best dog ever. She always talked to me and everything. So it's a great show. It's a great franchise. I think it's $1 billion franchise, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know what the revenue is for Blue's Clues, but I'm pretty sure it's like $1 billion at this point. And the fact that they're getting a theatrical movie, um, the merch is doing surprisingly well. Uh, people are still releasing. I just saw the other day on Amazon people were selling a Blue's Clues and You shirt based off of Josh's shirt and a Blue's Clues and You, or the original Blue's Clues Steve shirt, and it looked great. Still hoping on Joe shirt because I would love to have the multicolored rainbow shirt. Um, but yeah, other than that, I just think this is a perfect way to stop. So thank you guys for watching, and hope you guys enjoyed today's video and the stream. And remember, couldn't have done it without you. Thank you.